look at all these tomatoes that we got out of Preacher's garden. I mean, what a bounty. Today at Home with Miss Joan, we're going to show you just how easy it is to can up your tomatoes, and you do not have to have a pressure canner, just a big boiler. Stay tuned. We're going to start out by looking here. I got a boiler, a dish pan that's got hot water in it, and what you do is you just drop your tomatoes in there. It don't take about 4 or 5 minutes, and you'll see these things start to crack, and that makes it easier to get the peelings off. We grew up with just cutting them, trying to cut the peelings off tomato. And they always fussed on me because they say, you're peeling them away, you're peeling them away. There wasn't nothing left when I got through peeling. But then they started doing it like this with the hot water, and it really helped. Except it's a hot job now, you scorch your fingers. But anyway, we're just going to let these boil just a little bit, and then you'll see the cracking in them. We'll run them over here to the ice water bath, because that helps you when you go to chop them up if they're a little bit cooler. And we're doing this video water bath canning because if you're out there and you follow me and you say, well, Miss Joan, you do a whole lot of canning videos with your pressure canner. I just wanted to do these because you can do them either way. Why? Because it's a high acid vegetable. I call it a vegetable. They say it's a fruit. But a tomato has a lot of acid in it. And so for that reason, then you can water bath can it. You don't have to use the pressure. See how they... I'll get myself burnt. See how that skin's coming off just because it's been in this hot water for about 5 minutes. I'm going to move it over now because the ice is chilling down. That just helps me when I start to cut the book, okay? Oh, here we go. See? See how that is peeling back? Can you see that? That's what you want right there. We're not using nothing, but it's just a regular boil of hot water. Y'all all got that. Get you some tomatoes if you hadn't grown any at a fruit stand or farmer's market and make your own. What I'm going to do is put these over in the ice water bath and put me on another load of them. I'm just going to show y'all a few steps of it so you can start making you some. See? Look how easy the peelings come off. Isn't that something? Top and bottom. Alright, when it does that, I pull my peelings off, and then I just kind of cut around this core. See that core right there? You can do it anyway. You can reach in and get the core first, or do like me and just cut around the little devil. This right here is what I don't want. Now I'll save all this stuff and I'll run it through my colander. I'll show you how I do that to get all the juice out of this. But then here we go. I'll do another one or two. Then I got a pile of them to do. See, there's the bottom. It just peels right off. Bring it around, and I'm coming around to the big top, which let me show you what I'm talking about. Right here. I'm coming around to that part, and I'm holding it, and I'm cutting that part off. All right, remember I'm saving it because I'm going to get every little bit of juice out of them, and then I'm just going around it and cutting it off. Just hunks. They got to be no certain size. I'm going to fill this bowl up here with all these tomatoes. All in the world I done was heat them because it makes the peelings come off easy. I iced them down so that they cool down to don't burn my hands so much, and then I chop them up and put them in this bowl. Y'all saw how we peeled the tomatoes from the hot water and iced them down. So we just got the peelings off, chunked them up, and we got a big dish pan full and another one. But just so that I don't waste anything, I got 2 bowls of just scraps. So what I'm going to do is, now my grandma would put them in this. That's all she had. And then she would, go to town squishing them. To me, it kind of helps me if I put them in my food processor first. So that's what I'm going to do. This will all be stuff that you can put back on your garden to re-fertilize it or whatever, but I'm just going to try to get the juice out of the peelings. That's all in the world I'm doing. Pour them over into here so we don't waste nothing. Now I just leave this thing. Go over to this, pour me up a big thing of them, and then I do it, look at there, I'm going to do these 2 bowls just like I said. I'm going to run them through my food processor and run them through this old colander. And if you've got just a regular colander you drain your everyday vegetables in, and it's got fine holes in it, use that. Okay, you don't have to have one of these, but you can find them at like the antique stores. I don't know if you can order them online. I haven't tried to look. Probably can. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to take the juice, pour all of it over in here. Watch, just pure juice. And we're going to let these cook and stir them so they don't stick. You will have to keep stirring them, because tomatoes really do like to stick. So I'm just scratching the bottom. Now I'm going to let these come to a really good boil where I know that every tomato's hot in here. And that's when we'll start drawing them up. That'll be our next step. We got the tomatoes all cooked and bubbly. And now we're going to fill up our jars. There's nothing in here but just cooked tomatoes, all right? They got hot and bubbly, and that's all, because we're going to get them even hotter as we can them up. I'm sorry I'm getting juice everywhere. I'm a messy thing, that's for sure. All right, aren't they pretty? Okay, now I'm going to set that one right there for just a minute, because I was going to show you 2 of them, because I know that Jordan will have to move the camera. All right. I wouldn't fill up this dipper so big, we wouldn't have such a mess. I'll tell you, these will be so good this winter with all your soup and chili, whatever you want to make with them. I'm coming up to the one, what we call the 1 each headspace. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some plain salt. For the quart jars, I always use a teaspoon of salt, the canning salt, or the don't have iodine in it. Mama put a teaspoon of sugar in hers, so I do too, okay? Now, today, in this day and time, because there's so many different varieties of tomatoes, you don't know if you got a really high acid tomato or not. So I add a little acid to it to make sure. Now, this is something that you're just going to already have, is lemon juice. That adds acid to it. For a quart jar, you put 2 tablespoons. Now, something that I use is the straight citric acid, which is what's in the lemon juice. Now we got to deduct bubble it. Here it is. And if you're going to use this, you just use 1/4 of a teaspoon for a pint and 1/2 teaspoon for a quart. I'm going to debubble them. You do that for everything you can. Get the air out, so you do an extra air that's down in there. Just stir it around. That's all you got to do. And now we're just going to clean them. That just helps us ensure and clean the rims. That just helps ensure that your seal's not going to have salt or nothing under it. We're going to clean them with just pure vinegar. Some people just cleanse them with water, but I've got vinegar. Now we're just going to put a lid and a band on it. I heat mine just because that's what Mother did. She believed that helped the rubber stuff go ahead and start loosening up. I'll show you. That stuff right there, red stuff around through there. She believed heating it kind of helped that start loosening up and kind of helped with the sealing of it. So, I got hot jars, I got hot everything. I'm fixing to put it over into the canner. Now, I thought that we would water bath these because most of my viewers don't have a pressure canner. Now, you can pressure can these at this point, or you can what's called water bath. That's nothing but glorified boiling them. Now, I'm going to glorify boiling them today just because I want more of my viewers to step out and take a chance and know that they can do canned tomatoes. I put a disc in the bottom to keep the jars from hitting the bottom. I poured a little vinegar in there, just a splash or two. And this is my 4th jar that I've put in there. And what I'm going to do now is when I get it full, I'll come back and I'll show you that we're going to cover them over the top with 1 inch of water because we're boiling them, we're water bath canning them. And you'll do that for after it starts boiling, 45 minutes. If I was running my pressure canner, I'd can them for 25 minutes. I've got a video out there on pressure canning for beginners. So if you say, well, I'm gonna pressure can mine, Miss Joan, it saves time, it does, and I usually do mine too. But I wanted to do this for the viewers that don't own a pressure canner at this time. So because tomatoes, fruits have high acid, you can boil them or you can pressure can them. Y'all, we wound up with 15 quarts of these tomatoes. If you look over here in the pot, we have covered them with water all the way to the top. Then we went past the top of the jar for 1 full inch. Some people do 2 inches. Now, don't set your clock until these start coming a full boil, full what I call a rolling boil, okay? And when you see that happening, then you set your clock on 45 minutes. So we got 2 potfuls. I've got just a boiler, a pot with water in it. It's all you need to can you some tomatoes. That will last a long, long time. So anyway, once you see that big boil, then you set your clock on 45 minutes and let it go, and then cut your stove off, and you'll hear them start popping in the ceiling, and I'll get back with you. Okay, y'all see that's come to a rolling boil. I'm gonna cover it, and I'm gonna set my clock on 45 minutes. And we'll have us some canned tomatoes when we get through. All right, here comes the last one out. Look at here. Woo-wee! Here we go, 15 jars of canned tomatoes, and I showed you that you can do it with just the simplest utensils and ingredients right in your kitchen. And I'm going to cover these up, let them naturally cool down slowly. And tomorrow all I'll do is, in fact, I've already checked. They've already sealed. But I'm going to let them sit here and naturally cool down. And you have just water bath canned juice some tomatoes right here at Home with Miss Joan. At Home with Miss Joan, would you like? You know, whether you like it or not, okay? At Home with Miss Joan, please subscribe. Sure does help this old girl's channel grow. Won't you share with friends and family? You know, like your mom and them, okay? Comment right here and you'll hear back from me. You know, preacher, get back